don't think we need, like, when people say they're the middle of the road, I'm like, which fucking road?
There is no middle of the road when veterans don't have health care or VAs. There's no middle of the road there. Come on.
We are back with the Foolish Optimist podcast. You know me, my name's Amy McDonald. I'm really excited about this episode because our guest is Joyce Takako. Her handle is Joyce Takako Edgington on TikTok, and she is the person compiling all of these lists for Democratic candidates running for office. Joyce, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so grateful. So I really wanted to talk about a bit about your interest in politics, how you got here, and what you're doing and why we think it's so important right now to get people involved, whether they're running for office or running or helping people, volunteering, all that stuff. So we'll start with how you got into politics, why you care, and I mean, you care about a lot of people, I can just tell.
So I think what first started to get me into politics was I was an actor when I was a younger person, and my first acting coach, the first person who ever told me that I had any kind of talent or anything, ended up dying from AIDS-related pneumonia. And so from there, I just got into the LGBTQ activism, and then it just kind of spiraled from there. Now I'm 50 years old and this is what I'm doing.
I think a lot of younger generations, I've been talking about this a lot because we're recording this the first day after Pride Month, but I think a lot of younger generations don't really understand how devastating the AIDS crisis really was. I only have like a glimpse of it because I started interviewing people in Greenwich Village during pre-COVID, 18 lifetimes ago, about what life was like in the 80s and 90s and like how that affected everybody, right? I mean, the government gave up on a lot of people, but we lost so many good people. And I'm really sorry to hear about your acting coach.
Thank goodness for the lesbian community to come forward and really help all of the, sufferers.
That's something I've been trying to impress upon people, right? Like the LGBTQ community stood together really hard, right? They said the government is harming one of our people, one of our community. They'll harm all of us, so we need to work together. Like, if that's not a metaphor for the United States citizens, I don't know what is. So what do you do now by profession? Are you in politics in professional life, or are you doing something else?
So I am a disabled chronic ill patient. I have some complications due to having had pancreatic cancer. So I currently don't work. I am a single mom, so I have a daughter and a dog that I take care of. And I just really love TikTok that I can, in my condition, can come on and make some sort of change or help in some way.
You really are. So, I mean, when did you start making the list of candidates running for office? When did that? I mean, I saw a couple of them, but I don't know if I saw the first one.
Well, I think right after this devastating election, before the election, I was with a group on TikTok called Leave No Dem Behind. And so essentially they did what I'm doing, except for we didn't have one centralized place of where to go to find all the candidates. And as a person that likes organization, that was driving me crazy. So when stuff, after elections, stuff started back up, I'm like, I can't do this. So I just started sticking it all on a spreadsheet, and I thought maybe my friends on TikTok would want to know too.
It's so helpful. I mean, it's like people forget how many races are happening, and we've got special elections, we've got city, state, county, municipal, and we need to be running great people at every single level. So I love what you're doing. Again, y'all, if you didn't hear it at the top, her TikTok is Joyce Takako Edgington. Did I say that right? I'm like one of those people. I'm like, I'm good at foreign languages. Am I? For the people listening in the audio medium, I just gave Joyce the eyes of like, am I good at foreign languages? So, okay, so you are a single mom, you are a cancer survivor. I mean, those two things alone, those are super intense. And it's like, I feel like it's a very much American experience for a lot of people. Like, you're able to relate to a lot of people. Have you ever thought about running for office?
I was.
I know that's a surprise question. I wasn't planning on asking it, but I was like, maybe you would be good at this.
I think if my illness wasn't as bad as it is, I probably would. Um, but I think for now, I think I just want to support our candidates.
I think that's awesome. Either way, if you do run, I will be having you back on the podcast to talk more.
Thank you.
But um, yeah, I mean, I guess you've been. Have you been paying any attention to any of the races going, or are you just in research mode all the time, compiling?
I compile, but I do research. I do follow all
Cool.
candidates and follow their stories. Sometimes it's hard to remember them all because I have 250
There's so
people on the
many.
list. But I
Seriously,
standouts. I do have veterans that I think are going to do amazing if they get into office.
I feel like veterans are drastically underrepresented in Congress. I mean, I don't know the numbers, but I just I feel like if they were more represented, our VA would probably operate a little bit better.
Yeah. I don't know if,
Um,
anybody in your audience has ever been to a VA hospital. I had a friend that passed from prostate cancer. And so I would go, we have a VA hospital right outside of the city. So I would go almost every day, every other day. I was a bartender at that time. I was working at night. So I could go visit him, and VA hospitals, and I'm in a blue state. VA hospitals
right.
are extremely underfunded. They're dirty. They don't have enough staff. It's it's really sad, and to see this ridiculous big beautiful bill cutting VA services is it's a crime.
Actually, I think it is a crime, right? Like I think I saw a comedian talking. He was performing on Veterans Day, and someone in the crowd was like, "Oh, do you like veterans?" Or like, "What do you think about the United States treatment of veterans?" And he was like, "I wish we took care of them the way we idolize them." And I was like these comedians are always, yeah, not always right, but when they are right, they're like really right, and it is really frustrating to see this happening.
Yeah.
And uh, I work with a lot of homeless groups here in New York City, and we have so many homeless veterans, and it's like, why? This is a choice. We are choosing to do this, and then we've got people screaming about how they're so pro veteran, and I'm like, fix the
Yeah.
VA,
Our vet
feed them, give them food.
our
Like,
veterans shouldn't need for anything. They put their lives on the line.
yeah,
Health care, food,
yeah.
shelter. They shouldn't have to live on the street. It's ridiculous.
It's insane, and it's painful to see it happen, and we've now watched it happen generation after generation, and a lot of them come back from these experiences physically disabled or mentally disabled. And like you said, these are underfunded systems that if we're not actively putting money into them all the
Yeah.
time, they just get worse and worse. I'm with you. I agree with that like 100%. It's so disheartening. And then of course, like the cognitive dissonance, seeing these politicians argue. And they're like, we love veterans. And I'm just like, I want to throw an egg at you
Yeah.
straight up. Like, you deserve produce and or eggs in your face because you're lying, and I think we should bring that back. I think if a politician lies, we should just throw shit at them. Like, not things that would hurt, but like a tomato, an egg, something gross.
Glitter bomb.
Um, did you know you can mail those?
No.
Yeah, yeah. They're spring loaded.
Ah,
There's
love it.
I will not tell you why I know how I know that, but They do good work. That there's a couple of different companies too, so you can shop around for your
Wow.
budget and things of that nature. Yeah, glitter bombs would be great. I did hear a little bit of news around some protesters like throwing glitter on people. I don't know if it ever happened, but I do like the idea of glitter on folks because then they never get it off, and then you know that they're doing bad things. I mean, what else are some of the issues that you really care about in terms of where you see like this next like class? Because we've got so many great people running, and I think not all of them will win because of the way the districts are gerrymandered and stuff, but I think with the amount of people running, we have a really great opportunity to like really change the laws to help everyone.
I think the one major thing we need to have is universal health care or extending Medicaid, whatever that is. There's no reason why you get sick once and then you're out on the street because you can't pay your bills, you don't have insurance. It's like crazy land. We're in crazy land.
Yeah,
Human beings get sick. Beings get disabled. Human beings
yeah.
age. This is going to happen to all of us.
I'm laughing because we're here, two women talking about human beings aging, and every single major media outlet is like, women should
Yeah,
never age. God forbid you age. God forbid you have laugh lines and you've enjoyed your life. You fucking monsters. But like, yeah, you're right. Our human being bodies are complicated as fuck, and things go wrong all the time. And it's I hate my background's in sales, and we talk a lot about aligning incentives. And to me, hearing a company have to report to their shareholders when they're trying to decide who lives and dies is like taking empathy about the human condition out completely. That doesn't work. It just can't fucking work. It's not fucking possible. I remember I remember Luigi allegedly shooting the United Healthcare CEO, and I'm 35. I don't think I've seen this country that united in my adult life.
because
That's just how monstrous it
because
is.
we've all gone through being rejected, not being able to get health care because of our insurance companies. That's not a left thing or a right thing. It happens to all of us. And it happens and this kind of abuse happens to women more. And again, this is not women on the left or women on the right. It's all of us. And unless we
Yeah.
make some changes, this is not our country will not move forward.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Well, and it's like when we talk about healthcare, we're talking about everything else, right? We're talking about the economy, we're talking about the birth rate, we're talking about all these things wrapped up in one. Because if we had a baseline of universal healthcare, people could start their own
Yeah,
business. People could be artists. People like the culture would change because people would be unafraid to actually try something new. Obviously you need to save up some money before you start a business. Don't just go out there starting businesses, but like you would have a little bit of a
yeah,
net to go do what you love, and that changes like the face of our entire country.
exactly.
Um, but yeah, I mean, like people my age aren't having kids because it costs 15 grand to go have a baby in a hospital, and that's insane.
It's insane, and also a lot of people don't understand that when a woman gives birth, it is one of the most dangerous times of her life. It's very scary, and people don't put enough emphasis on that. What it does to a woman or a person who
Yeah.
can have a child.
Again, another comedian is like, she's like, we need to have the men reporting live, like they're in a hurricane zone. They're like, like it's very scary. And people are like, oh, like what happened before hospitals? And like, women and children died
Exactly.
all the time. I mean, all the time. And we also have this like anti establishment movement across the board as it pertains to health. And I Sometimes on Instagram or TikTok, I'll get pushed a video of a home birth, and it's not like graphic. It's just them explaining it. And I'm like, please don't do that.
Yeah, I think people can, if they want to do that, is fine. But I could say from my own birthing experience, I was in labor for 27 hours. I had fourth degree tears after she came out of. It's horrendous.
Whew.
And my
Yeah.
daughter's only 9, but she really likes babies and kids, and she always says like, "Oh, I'm gonna have kids one day." And on the back of my head, I don't say it out loud, but in the back of my head, I'm like, "Oh, honey, maybe no." you know, maybe
You just give it some
yeah.
time. As you learn more, you might change well, and it's also like we have a lot of emphasis on and with this like weird movement around kind of anti-establishment everything, right? People are walking away from parts of politics, parts of established science, parts of education, things like this. It's like people are talking about home births, unmedicated births, all these things. And I'm like, there's so many ways to become a parent. If you really want to have children, but you don't want to birth a child, there are other ways. You can also be a foster parent and kind of stand in the gap for some of these people. I don't know. Um, and of course, there's like the natal movement, which I don't know if you want to talk about that. I don't know if you've seen
No,
the.
it
No,
already sounds bad.
no.
Let's not go.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I just saw some New York Times article on it, and I was like, girls, no, no. I'm like, listen to your elders, listen to the Gen Xers who like these women who gave up everything for men and now don't want to be with them anymore, which is not all the time, but we're talking about marriages and I don't know. I feel like I love TikTok and I hate TikTok. I love Instagram and I hate it, but I do feel like it does open people's eyes to different perspectives all the time.
Which is why it's so important for all of us to speak out about all of these issues, so that women who maybe come from cultures or families that are not really allowed to speak out about how they feel, if they see us speaking out, excuse me, maybe they could have the courage as well to speak up.
And I think you're right about talking, just sharing stories. I think I was having this conversation with a man recently, and they were like, women just like talk all the time. And I'm like, we do. And that's like a tool we use to relate to each other, but also to do exactly what you just said, right? To give other women the opportunity to either jump in and chime in with their voice or learn from something that they might not have known about
I
before.
don't I don't really like men chiming in areas they have no place to chime in.
I was having this conversation around it was a young man telling his story about sexual assault. And he like got on the internet and he talked about it. And I was like trying to explain to my guy friend, I was like, we women do share our stories more.
True.
And I think it is in an effort to make sure that we're not
Yeah.
alone. And I'm like, that's what I was like, I hope that these men who are starting to share stories that are a little bit more vulnerable and a little bit scary
Yeah.
understand that's why we talk about it so much. Obviously, we want justice, but a lot of it is just about making sure that other women, young women, people who don't have somebody to talk to knows they're not alone. At least that's what I feel like about it in my
I
mind.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, do you have any fun plans for the summer? Shifting gears from
I'm
very
taking
sad
my
topics.
daughter to Hawaii next week, so I'll probably be off of TikTok for a
Fuck
little
yeah.
bit.
Hell yeah. That is like the
Oh my
funnest
God.
plan that's so
I
cool.
love Hawaii, and also being a mixed race Asian person, when I go to Hawaii, I see so many other people that look like me, and it's kind of cool to be in an environment.
I was gonna ask if you were from there, actually. I mean, because I was like, you could be from
Yeah, my
Hawaii.
mom is from Japan. She's from
Okay.
northern part of Japan called Akita, and my dad is a European American, I guess we're calling us now.
Trying to like get away from just like
Yeah,
white. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. That's so cool. Did you grow up in Chicago or
yeah. Born and
Nice.
raised here. My mom came here in like the late 60s, so she's been here for a
Cool. Chicago in the late 60s.
yeah. We had after World War II, because of the concentration camps, a lot of the Japanese Americans left California and Utah and they made homes here in Chicago. So at the time when she came,
Cool.
there were, Japanese or Japanese Americans here. A lot of the families have now moved out closer to the suburbs because there's a Japanese school out in like Arlington Heights. So,
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
so a lot of people have kind of migrated out of the city.
I mean, in the late 60s to now, that's a solid chunk of time for some shuffling. That we're doing the same thing in New York. It's a lot of moving around. And I mean, ours is a little bit more like violent gentrification, I would call it. But it's, and I do think TikTok has had, unfortunately, a role in that. I think a lot of people want to move to New York and they don't want to be a part of New York. We just had a really big mayoral election, and I was just like screaming at people to vote and like change their registration
Yeah.
because a lot of people live here and they a lot of people think that if you register to vote somewhere you're going to automatically get called for jury duty. I would like to dispel that right now. That is not true. I was registered to vote in New York for 8 years before I got called for jury duty.
I don't think I've ever, I'm 50 years old. I don't think I've ever sat on, no, I know I haven't, I have never sat on a jury.
That's awesome. I was on a grand jury for 30 days and you go for half the day. So you go from like 8 to 12 or you go from 1 to 5. And I went from 8 to 12 and I saw so many people that they weren't in my grand jury, but we had multiple grand juries going at once. We also had two trial juries going. And I think I knew somebody on every single
Oh, really?
jury. And I was like, oh, wow. I literally was like, our time has come. And I was like, we have been called up. Let's go.
You remember what case you
Yeah.
sat on?
So grand jury is just the one that indicts things. So it's before. So we were cruising through cases like we had 5 to 10, and I was the annoying dissenter because I just grand jury is the one where they come and sit in front of you, and there's never the person's never there. It's like when the state decides they're going to charge you with something. So we see the ADA, assistant district attorney, and they just tell you a story, and you decide if the state's going to move forward or not. Um, and sometimes a witness will be there. You had to whisper your question to the assistant district attorney, and they had to decide if it was relevant. And then they would ask the question. We had a couple attorneys, and I asked them why they weren't working for the ADA, and they said one I did. It's just seared in my mind. She was like, "I'm not in the business of putting young black and brown men into jail." Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was like, I want to sit next to
Yeah.
her. So you're going to Hawaii. Any other plans this summer? So you've been there before.
Yes.
You sounds like you go frequently.
I've been there a couple times. I just love
I mean, I feel like that's frequently for Hawaii. It's far
it. It's
away.
paradise. It's so beautiful every like in Chicago. It was 59 degrees one day, the next day it was 90 degrees. In Hawaii, it's just perfect all the time.
Maybe a little bit of a rain, like a summer sprinkle, and
Yeah.
then it goes back to
And even
perfect.
that's so beautiful because you can smell the pineapples and stuff. Oh, love it.
Yeah. I mean, I just rewatched Lilo and Stitch recently because the new film came out, and I was just like, man, this is
Yeah.
awesome. Um, like it just gave me good memories, right?
Well, we're all busy. We got these elections coming up, so we've got plenty on our plates, both you and I.
So fucking much. Are there any candidates in Chicago? Do you guys, when are your local races in Chicago?
Let me see. I cannot remember. I think we're all in. It looks like we're all in November. Nick and Ajewski for state senate seats. District 6 has a primary March
Okay.
2026. So it looks like we're all for Illinois. We're in 2026.
I'm thinking about New York because we're an off year,
Oh,
right? We're 2025, which is it's so frustrating, right? Like because everyone's so sick of politics by the time our mayoral race runs around. And everyone's excited. Everyone's excited about the people that are running this year, which is great. But like nobody shows up because they're just like,
I'm just so excited for New
yeah,
York, dude. You guys have Zohran Mamdani, and then I just feel like it's just gonna trickle down to like progressives like
I
Asia
hope so.
Fox in Arizona. I'm really rooting for her.
Yeah.
Chakrabarti running for Pelosi's seat. Thank you, Nancy Pelosi, for all you've done,
Oh,
but we need to move forward. The progressive youth will
is she retiring or is she?
he's
No, she's not retired.
he's challenging her.
Oh, I have seen him. Yes, 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 yes. He worked on AOC's
Yes.
campaign. He's exciting. I mean, look, there's something in the water, and I'm pumped about it. Right? People are like, "Oh, it's so progressive." I'm like, "Oh, that we want our tax dollars to be used for what we
Yeah,
need."
exactly. So we can like survive.
Like, people are so. It's been so long since we've had systems in place where the money we give the government actually gets given back to us. That people are like, "It's un-American." In fact, like, it's great. It's like I literally am like I can't stop thinking about it. Right? I'm like I understand. For years, all we've done is send all of our tax dollars to the Department of Defense and war and all these things. But like every other country making any sort of money is using some of their tax dollars to give the citizens a fucking
Yeah, and
break.
we need progressive candidates that will openly say free Palestine. I'm sick and tired of the bullshit, of what it's horrifying what is happening. And we need real dumb candidates to stand up and say, fuck this. No, this has to stop. Kat Abu Ghazaleh in Illinois for U.S. House District 9. You know, she's talks about Palestine. Erica Lee, who is out of California, she is going up against an incumbent as well. She's going up against Doris Matsui, who has been. Thank you, Ms. Matsui, and we thank you for the work you have done for us, but it's now time to step aside. We have progressive
Yes,
youth that need to step into these places. I just want to
I
rattle off
mean,
some more people that I think are
me.
Riley Neal in Montana. She's running for U.S. Senate, and she is our sole Montana candidate on TikTok. So she needs a lot of support. We need to support her. Elijah Manley from Florida. He's running for U.S. House 20. He's very progressive. Avery Higgs of Oklahoma, running for State House District 11, is progressive. And then one of my newly favorite candidates, I like all my candidates, but Alexandria Braswell, Oklahoma, right?
No, she's Alabama.
Alabama.
Alexandra Brazel's
Yeah.
Alabama. She's her episode is coming out June
Oh,
23rd. That's a special election.
yes.
Yeah, first female Democratic candidate in that district
Ever.
ever.
She's so powerful. I
Jesus.
am so proud of the Alabama Dems. They're really stepping up,
Same.
dude. They're really up.
I
They're
know.
gonna change that state.
Yes, I'm it's been giving me like a fire inside, truly. They're really impressive and I love like there's candidates galore and we've got so many good options and they're put like these are some of these seats have been uncontested for 15 or 20 years.
Yeah, that's why I posted on my page about I went through all of Ballotpedia to look at all the open U.S. House races and how there are too many that are uncontested. We need to find candidates, and but also finding candidates. The big part that's hard about finding candidates is money, and that
Hmm.
one of the reasons why candidates take money from big PACs is because they don't get donations. And if we want them not to take large PAC money, then we need to support them. We need to donate to them. That's the right now, and it sucks. And money should not have a part in politics, in running for office. It
Right.
shouldn't be a part of that. It really deters hard working class people to run. So,
It's
and
prohibitive.
I'm hoping that showing through my post showing that, yeah, look at all these working class people, they're working the regular job and uh, raising their families and doing, and they're still running hard campaigns. They're still pushing it. I admire them so much. I think our candidates are just doing amazing.
It's such an exciting year because, like you said, right? Like the Alabama Dems are stepping up, the Montana Dems are stepping up. We've got Oklahoma and Arkansas Dems like jumping in and ready to really push the boundaries. And I'm with you, right? Like I say a big thank you to all of these institutional Democrats who've been here for so long and they've done a lot. But someone in my life compared them to peacetime leaders, right? And I do feel like our democracy is under
Oh,
assault and we need,
yeah.
yeah, right. I feel that way. I don't know if it's actually, it's our democracy is under assault. It's like we're being attacked and we need some leadership who is fighting weight and ready to like
Yeah.
tussle, you
Yeah,
know?
I'm just so sick and tired of, every time Rep. Al Green tries to
Ugh,
push forward anything. Like, we don't see any fucking unity with our party. Like,
yeah.
we need to be unified, and it's making me mad that this are disabled. He's a disabled representative, disabled disabled people. We kind of have a little bit more understanding of how things work because we are unfortunately stuck in a disgusting.
I was like, you're forced
Yeah,
to. Yeah.
we're forced to
Yeah.
politics. We're forced to research. We're forced to educate
Yeah.
ourselves. And so every time Rep. Al Green goes up there and they don't listen to him, drives me absolutely out of my mind. Out of my mind.
I love Al Green
No.
so much. And even right when he stood up and did his dissent at the State of the Union, I was like, they're going to do something to that man. He's still fucking standing up for
Yeah.
everybody. And then people are like tone policing him. And I'm like, shut up, shut up. He's right.
No.
The vast majority of your party who is not sitting in this chamber believes he's right.
Yeah. We need progressive candidates that have spines because
Yes.
they need to be stronger. And some
Yeah.
guys that we have are just, thank you for everything you've done for us.
Like,
Now it's time to move aside.
seriously.
John Fe-
It's
what
a
the hell
life.
is going on with that dude? What is going
I don't think I want to say thank you to him. I just want to drop kick him out a window, which I can't do because he is. The last headline I saw with him was like, "Your gargantuan Democratic senator." I was like, first of all, shut the fuck up. It's funny because it's true, but also like, we don't have to talk about that. We can just talk about how shitty he's being. Like I
he wants
mean,
to go to the beach?
this
That's his pride.
don't we? Won't we all? We all want to go to the beach, and yet, like, yeah, maybe if you stood up to the fucking crazy people ripping our democracy apart, we could all just go to the goddamn beach.
Yeah. If
Oh,
Kamala was president, we'd be at brunch right now.
oh my god, that would be lovely,
Yeah.
wouldn't it? I mean, like you said, a lot of Democrats, a lot of things. I think what I get really frustrated with is, again, with the women who have been in power for a really long time. I noticed it originally with, obviously, with RBG, but also with Dianne Feinstein. I'm like, and it might just be because that generation of boomer women had to work so hard to get where they were, which I get. They sacrificed a ton and they've done so fucking
Yeah.
much. But you're
Yeah.
88. Spend time with your grandbabies or like with your cool fun friends in San Francisco going to brunch.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
And also, a lot of them, take APAC money, and that's a no no.
I was gonna loop back to that, right? That's
That in our
crazy.
party. No.
Yeah. There are plenty of PACs that are actually doing decent
Yeah.
things. It just takes time to research them and get, because there are so many, right? Like, so I've been talking with all these candidates, and people are like, "Oh, we are going to take PAC money, but it is like specifically PAC money that is designated for things that focus on veterans' mental health or things like that are like, and so it's not APAC money. It's not millions of dollars. It's not hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's 5,000, which is huge for a new grassroots candidate. I mean, that might be enough, depending on the state, to get on the ballot, which is
Yeah.
massive. But you don't. I'm with you. I mean, taking APAC money to me, and it's almost everybody.
Yeah.
Just get them out.
And that's why I
Get them
really
out.
admire all these candidates. They say right off the bat, like, I'm broke, but I'm not taking
Yeah,
money, period. I
yeah.
respect that. That takes a lot of guts to do that.
It it does, and it makes things a lot harder. But like, I I just the we all talk about Citizens United, but it's the subsequent votes afterwards that like allowed for all of this dark money to happen. Because like Citizens United, they really wanted you to be in your like NASCAR jersey with all it's all your donors. You like go stand on the. They're like, these are the people who have purchased me. If you want, if you have a problem, this is who you go to. But then it all changes, and you get this like weird system that we have, which has caused un an unknowing amount of problems, and it's going to take so long to fucking unwind. And we've only had Citizens United was 2012.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not been that long.
yeah. Politics is so complicated. Like, it's be this complicated to understand or to run for office or anything, It should also language, like the language should be at a level where everybody can understand it. Um, I don't know. I got a lot of complaints.
So do I. So do I. And that's probably why we're both so focused in on getting Democrats and progressives specifically elected, because it's I think that like and I've had this conversation with many people, right? It's people are like, you talk a lot about voting, we can't fix the system from inside the system, and I'm like, there's we can't fix the system with one thing or another, right? Like, we have to vote, we have to get people elected who will change it from the inside out. We have to, those of us who can, be in the streets, and we have to be protecting our most vulnerable communities all at the same time.
Yes, exactly.
I'm like, I'm talking about voting because I'm talking to candidates, and these people are, like you said, they're sacrificing time with their children and their families because they're still working full time, and they're still doing all these other things to run for
Yeah.
office, which is fucking
Yeah,
huge.
it's huge. And I'm so impressed at how caring our Democratic candidates are. They really, truly care about others. Like Alexandria Braswell in Alabama, one of the first things on her website is supporting the disability community. And that really warms my heart as a disabled person, and a lot
Yeah,
of them, especially our veterans. A lot of our veterans that are running are disabled veterans, and they just really care about each other. They're collabing and doing collabs together. They're just really caring people. I'm really happy to be
yeah,
supporting them and, boosting
yeah.
visibility for them.
Same. I think it's like, I don't, obviously I'm hosting a podcast. I enjoy being in the spotlight a little bit, but I don't want to be a candidate. To me, it doesn't sound like a ton of fun. But being around these people is so, seeing their videos, like you said, seeing the collabs, it is inspiring. That's part of why I started this podcast, because I was like, I feel like I'm in a deep dark place and I need some fucking hope.
Yeah,
And then you start talking to these people who really, like you said, they really
they
care about
really
people.
do. And our veterans, like Blythe Potter in Indiana, she's running for Secretary of State.
Oh,
That
cool.
woman just, she's so empathetic and caring and just such a lovely person. And she wants to make change so badly in her state. I'm
Yeah.
really rooting her on because Indiana, they're my neighbors and they're
Yeah.
struggling over there, and it's hard because they're
Yeah.
like right over the border, and
You're like, hi, friends. Are you
they're
okay?
struggling so hard. And is it okay if I talk about some of the other veteran candidates?
Tell me all about them. Please
We've
do.
got Rod Smith in Alabama, who is running for U.S. House District 6, um, another veteran that stepped up in Alabama. Alabama, God, I love
Alabama's
them.
cred. There's another one in the fifth district, Jeremy DeVito.
Yes, yes, and
Mm-hmm.
I think Greg Howard is in Alabama. Let me just check really quick. Yes, Greg Howard, who is a member of the LGBTQIA community. He's running for U.S. House in District 5. We also have, oh, I love this veteran. Her name is Mara Keller in Georgia. She's running for U.S. House District 3. I just love
I just started talking to her, and I'm so excited to have her on this podcast. She seems fucking rad.
Really awesome. We also have Colonel Pam Stevenson running in Kentucky for U.S. Senate. So that's super exciting. Abigail Spanberger, who's running for the governor of Virginia, is also a veteran. We have Rear Admiral Eileen Laubacher in Colorado running for U.S. House District 4. Robert People is a veteran running in Florida, U.S. House District 15. Florida is also a very interesting state to be watching right now. Gay Valamont and Josh Wheel both really they might not have won their races, but they changed up stuff in Florida. So I'm really excited for Florida. Gay Valamont and Josh Wheel are running for election again. We
Yes.
have Robert. Oh, did I say Robert People? Yes.
Good. Yeah.
Monica Dean in Kentucky. She's running for U.S. House District 4. She seems super cool. I really like.
So many of these people seem super cool. Every time I see them or I've like spoken with them, like I already had, I think my fourth episode was with Robert
Oh,
People, and I'm just like, you guys are
right?
cool. I'm like, maybe it's like, and like obviously it's not the most important thing, but like I think when we find our politicians a little cool, a little sexy, a little fun, things are better. I do. I think they're just a little, it's not the only
Right.
prerequisite, but I do think,
I mean,
and
they're related.
that's exactly like, I want to get lunch with you. We would have
Yes,
fun.
exactly right. And
Yeah.
Mikey Sherrill, who's running for New Jersey governor, is also a veteran.
There's so many women in that group too, right? That list. And that's like, it's about time. We got to get those, we got to crank those fucking numbers of women up in our government across every single facet because women make up what, like 52% of this country, and they're just, the numbers are just way too
Yeah,
low.
and it's about time.
Yeah.
Women. It's about time that women really lead.
Yeah, we gave you guys 250 years.
You done fucked up.
Scoot the fuck out. Get the fuck out. We want the, literally it's like, we want the women, we want the gays, we want the
Right.
theys, everyone else. No, I'm
Yes.
kidding. And yeah, we just need people that are a little bit more multi-rounded than people who've been in the, it's,
Staff.
I mean, it's just, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Diversity is
it.
going to be so important for us because then we can truly have our feelers out. I wish that I don't know about a lot of Native American or indigenous candidates. I haven't really heard of any. Have you?
We have one in Oklahoma's running for Senate, Jasmine
Ah,
Thomas. Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
She seems amazing too.
She seems like just super fucking solid and cool and normal. And I've talked to a couple of people on her team, and they're similarly super solid and cool and normal and just like smart people. Like really knows what they need in Oklahoma, knows what they can do to get it done
Yeah,
now.
we'll have to.
But I think this entire class is so well rounded, whether they're a veteran or a single parent or, you know, uh, a member of the LGBTQ plus community. They've got life experience, and they know what people need.
Yeah.
People.
And so Nikayla is in Oklahoma, yes? Yeah.
Yes,
There's
yeah,
another
yeah.
really important candidate. His name is Nathan Brewer. Let me make sure I have his correct house or correct district here. He is State Senate District 8. And Nathan, I would encourage anybody to look him up and learn about his history and what he's
Okay.
going to bring to Oklahoma.
Cool. I love that. I mean,
Hmm.
this is honestly why your job and your work that you're doing is so important, because there's so many people on this list that I haven't heard of yet. And I have your list, by the way. Every time you post a new one, I download it to my phone, and I'm like I have it. I just haven't taken the time to read all of it because it's 250 names, and that,
Also,
and we need to find
Texas,
Texas is going to be
up.
big.
They're doing so good. And there's so many. Zoe Kador, she's gonna be incredible. She's running for U.S. House District 18. We have Mr. Peter Filler. He's running for U.S. House District 2. Isaiah Martin running for U.S.
Martin.
Carisha Rogers. Have you talked to her yet?
No,
Okay, she's running for
no.
U.S. House District 18. Please talk to her. She sounds
Okay,
incredible. And then in Virginia, Jess Anderson, who's running for State House District 71, she's been going around with Abigail Spanberger around Virginia. She's
hell
another
yeah.
one to watch who seems incredible to me.
I mean, again, I'm obviously I'm a little biased, but I'm just so pumped to hear so many women's names. But I do think a lot of women naturally have a little bit more empathy just because of all the things that we go through ourselves that nobody else sees,
Yes.
right? So women are like, "Oh, you're mad at me, but maybe you're having a day." Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're ill and I just don't know, because like you've been there, I've been there, etc. So hopefully we can usher some change in with this. So if you were starting this journey all over again, getting more politically active, what would you advise to maybe a younger generation of people, or maybe just someone who decided it's important right now and I need to do something?
Well, I think as far as social media, maybe find what you like or what appeals to you. Like, for example, why the spreadsheet and everything is because I'm a very organized person. It annoys me to
Mm-hmm.
death if something is not organized, and if somebody else is not going to do it, I'm going to do it. So
You're like, I
yeah, you
got it.
gotta
Just
find your niche or whatever appeals to you. Or I was just thinking about this the other day. If everybody on TikTok chose one candidate to just boom, 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 put content out for, they'd all be covered, and we could just
yeah,
saturate social media with their faces and their information.
that's a good idea.
And if you're not a hermit like I am, I don't like to leave my house. Just I'm a hermit now. So if you're not a hermit, then go out and pick one campaign and go out just
Yeah,
support that campaign. Like still keep your ears out and learn and keep up with what's going on in the world, but especially for people that have anxiety when they, are reading the news a lot,
yeah.
doing this, my research and promoting candidates is kind of allows me to focus on that. And I feel like a little less anxious about the rest of the world because I feel like maybe I'm helping in some way. Even if it's in a little way, because I'm a small creator. I only have like 3,000 followers, but you know the
You reach a lot of
the
people.
Dems on TikTok, the ones that are not candidates, just followers, they really want to help. And I think that
Yeah,
if we all did this together and just picked one candidate and just just run with it, I think we're going to do really, really well in these elections.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, and I think you're right. You think you had hit the head on the nail there. Like, right, action is the antidote to anxiety, at least for me. I don't know if that's perfect for everybody else, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I love that, and I love this idea of adopting a race and just getting after it. Also, for those of us who are socially anxious, and things like that, volunteering on a campaign is a great way to make friends with people who care about the same stuff you do.
Or like groups
Just saying.
visible,
Yes.
follow Women's March because they're always, have volunteer opportunities.
Yeah, yeah,
Who
yeah.
are your standouts as candidates? Are there anybody that like pops into your mind?
My standouts right now, I am honestly, I'm really focused in New York on our mayoral, but we also have I grew up in North Carolina, so my home state does citywides in the off years as well. So for 2025, JD Missouri Arias in Charlotte, North Carolina, as a city council member is one of my favorites. And then also Elijah King in Durham is one of my favorites. And then, of course, we've just got to get to November and get Zoran across the line. That is really exciting. I'm going to be paying really close attention to the Illinois Senate with Dick Durbin's seat.
So,
It's got a massive shakeup,
yeah.
right? A lot of House of Representatives people are running, which means we've got a lot of open seats for House of Representatives in Illinois, and we've just got people going, getting ready, and it's going to be a great. There's it doesn't matter who wins, right? Because there's so many good people running that you're just going to see so many leaders come out of this one fucking
Yeah.
race, and that's what's going to happen with everybody.
Yes.
Everyone that's running for office right now, a lot of people will win, a lot of people will lose, but like running for office is a very tangible way to prove you're ready or you're going to be ready to lead at some point, and whether you're proving that to yourself or to other people or the like collective, I'm just so excited to see how many fucking leaders come out of this entire next 18 months, because I mean they're just going to be everywhere, and
And progressive
it's going to be
leaders, progressive
they're
leaders.
prog- they're progressive. They're people that aren't trying to be Republican
Yeah.
light. That's driving me insane. Like I'm like, people think you're the
You
same. Do you not hear people saying they think the parties are the same? So you got to spread yourself out a little. Give yourself some space. Spread it out.
something that drives me just a little bit crazy, and not all the candidates do it, but some of them, I go through their stuff and they're like, I'm not, I'm not just a Democrat working for, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm right in the middle. And like, no, dude, be proud Democrat. Because I'm a proud Democrat and I want to support people who are proud Democrats. There's nothing, Democrat is not a bad word.
Also, like, how can you possibly be a
Yeah,
centrist right now? Our center has been pulled so far to the right that if you say you're a centrist,
a
you are
Republican.
probably a Republican, or you were 5 minutes ago. I had someone say it to me the other day, and I was like, oh, holy fucking cop out, my friend. Pick a side. And I was like, and I don't say that to say, like, you have to be on the side. I say that to have some goddamn
Yeah.
conviction, right? Give me some gumption. Give me something. What do you
What
care
do
about? Anything?
what
Nothing?
do you really
Like,
stand for, dude? What do you really stand
yeah,
for?
yeah. It drives me. I'm with you, and I don't think we should let candidates get away with it. I don't think we need, like, when people say they're the middle of the road, I'm like, which fucking road?
There is no middle of the road when veterans don't have health care or VAs. There's no
Yeah.
middle of the road there. Come on.
Did you see the news about the elderly protesting and getting handcuffed to their wheelchairs? There's no middle of the road,
Yeah, exactly.
you
And
know,
as disabled people, we have been fighting for decades. The
I
amount in this country
ever.
that receive assistance live in poverty. Most disabled people live in poverty. That's
I've seen the numbers. It's not possible to live on what you're like.
people.
And also, like, why can't we? There's more money that we can give to disabled people. And again, people are like, well, like, there's all these arguments around it, but I'm like, if disabled people get out of poverty, you know what they do? They go spend money. They go take vacations. They add back. Like, what's the problem? It's the rising tides thing, right? It brings every boat up. And I cannot wrap my head around what an issue would be with giving disabled Americans or disabled green card holders, people who pay into our system, more
Yeah.
money.
You remember when we got the what were they called? The COVID checks?
Like COVID.
Who were bitching about it, how it was nothing. It's like, do you know that disabled people barely survive on less than what you got in your COVID check? All of us,
Every month.
all of us, big
Yeah.
deal. But when disabled people have been suffering for decades.
I've had this conversation with so many people, right? Like, we live in the wealthiest country in the world. And the idea that, like, I'm very far left. But like, I believe it's the government's job to take care of its citizens.
Yeah,
Full stop. No questions asked. To take care of the people in their borders, it is imperative, right? The job of the government is to let us, like, live, laugh, love in some form or fashion. And maybe that means giving the money we pay into the system back to the fucking people. What is it like?
yeah. If government isn't here to help people, then why do we have a government?
Why is it here?
Right?
Literally, what are we doing here? Why is that so? Why is that a novel
Yeah, and
idea?
that's why we
Ugh.
need to have compassionate, empathetic, kind, caring Democratic candidates running for office and winning their office. And you and I are going to help them.
That's a perfect place to end. That's it. That's it.
If you've made it this far, thank you so much. Thank you for following The Foolish Optimist. You can